When I was a casual, I thought as a casual, I spoke like a casual, and I looked at boxing like a casual. But when I became a hardcore, I put away all those casual things. This is Michael Rogers, and welcome to Bodywork Boxing.
Welcome back. This is Michael Rogers. Welcome to Bodywork Boxing. And right now as we speak, there are videos going on about how the PBC can't afford an Errol Spence and a Terrence Bud Crawford fight. Even though that's not my topic to discuss this night, I just find it real ironic that we still talking about Bud. Why the fuck we still talking about Bud? Why we still talking about we're just overlooking Ugas. And this is what I say, man, as far as being disrespectful, because when Bud was always asked about Sean Porter, he was all like, oh man, I'm not going to overlook Sean Porter, my focus is on. But y'all, that hypocritical, stupid ass energy that everybody have right now, it's just hypocritical, man. It's like, I could spend hours upon hours about all the hypocrisy involving Bud fans and the whole, like, just boxing in general. But that's not why I'm here today. Because it's a term in boxing. You know what that term is? It's called cherry picking. And I'm going to say that there are certain people who don't cherry pick. They just dare to be graped. You know that low-hanging fruit? You know that low-hanging fruit, man? It's just, and then, you know, as time go on, you know how people say you're aging like fine wine. You know that? There are people that dare to be graped. And I'm talking about one Canelo Cinnamon Gingerbread Man Alvarez. They saying he's going to move up to cruiserweight, right? And it's a foregone conclusion that the winner of this fight is going to be MAKABU, right? Which is very disrespectful because we don't know who's going to win. Remember when everybody thought that Pacquiao was just going to go in there and wash Ugas? Not me. But remember that? And that didn't happen? Y'all remember that? Yeah. It's disrespectful to already assume that it's going to be MAKABU. But since that's the name that's floating around, and Ginger himself had said it, Mr. Alvarez had said that, you know, we're going to go with MAKABU, and he's daring to be great by moving up to cruiserweight. However, a gentleman by the name of Alexander USYK said, hey, I'll challenge you. I'll shed this weight. I'll come down to cruiserweight, and I'll come see about the face of boxing. And Canelo Alvarez said, no smoke, no smoke, no chimney smoke, no ashtray smoke, no exhaust smoke. I don't want no kind of smoke. I just want to have smoke. But I say that because everybody who I hear speak about it say, oh man, when Roy Jones moved up, yeah, I mean, you didn't expect for him to fight the, you know, I'm like, man, like, stop it, man. If you're going to dare to be great, be great. Don't be graped. I'm going to get a shirt that say, don't be graped. You know what I'm saying? Don't go for the low-hanging fruit. But the video today, really on a serious note. And thanks to all my subscribers, man. The growth has been tremendous. I had a little minor hiccup this past week where I couldn't post for a whole week. And the video that I actually posted yesterday was a video that I did a week ago. You know what I'm saying? But I stay ahead of the times, man. Like, if you think about it, I posted that video about the Hitman versus Caleb Plant yesterday, but I recorded that video on Saturday. Truth be told. Stick with your boy, man. I'm going to bring you that hot fire. But the subject is hand, right? The importance of this video is because I'm laying out something, right? And just like in football, you know, when they do a screen, when one wide receiver, he goes out, he does like a 2-yard, a hard stop, and he jerks and he goes to the right. As long as he turns around and he looks as if he's looking for the ball, he can run right into the next player, right? Meanwhile, the inside receiver can come down and swoop on the outside of him, and it's called a pick. Well, I want to call a moving pick, because the Cuban Flash, Frank Sanchez, he came out recently and said that not only would he pretty much beat the shit out of Tyson Fury, but that Mr. Alexander Usyk would be an even easier fight. You see where I'm going here? It's a moving pick, man. It's a moving pick for the gingerbread man out there in Candyman land. Yes. And it's a correction to my video, because when I said that Canelo was going to avoid that Alexander Usyk smoke, but I said he was going to avoid it because they had plans for his man, I thought, and I heard Frank Sanchez, but somehow I thought it was Andy Ruiz, because I thought Andy Ruiz was down there in that camp. But they're basically trying to say, and they're trying to like make it seem as though Frank Sanchez is in the running for an Alexander Usyk. So they're saying, oh no, we're going to let our Canelo, we're going to let him go ahead and dare to be great and go up there and fight MAKABU, or the winner of that fight, whatever the other guy's name. I can't even pronounce it. I'm not going to, out of respect, I'm not going to butcher his name. But we're going to let Canelo go and do that. And we're putting all our sights on the Cuban Flash, Frank Sanchez, down for one Mr. Alexander Usyk. And to double down, what he said at first was that Tyson Fury would be easy work. I want y'all to let that sink in, man. And I always, Reynoso and Canelo and all them boys, man, I tip my hat off to them boys, because it's often that I find that the moves and the plays that they do is pretty genius. But I know a motherfucking gingerbread man when I see one. Think about it, y'all. This is a moving pick, because they gotta like excuse or have a good excuse for Canelo not to fight Usyk if he goes up to cruiserweight. They're gonna pawn off Sanchez, so Sanchez comes out here at the beginning of the new year to say these outlandish things like Tyson Fury is just easy work. Even though I think Tyson Fury, he's getting extra ballooned up, shall I say, with the win over Deontay Wilder. I think he is, because we gotta admit that before the first fight, that man was on the couch for like 3 years with drug problems, overweight, and all that. And because he beat Wilder, now he's the baddest heavyweight on the planet. Cut that bullshit out. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it all the way funky, 10 times 10, however you want to put it. It is what it is. Tyson Fury isn't the baddest man on the planet. However, I think he got the juice right now. He has the juice right now, but that does not make him the baddest man on the planet. So I find it kind of interesting that one Cuban Flash, Frank Sanchez, will come out and make such statements. And it's really just a moving screen, man. Because what you all boxing fans, and I'm not talking to my hardcore, but to the casuals out there in the world and the people that need narratives and they need likes and comments and views, what you fail to realize is there is no irony that right now is the time that one Mr. Canelo Alvarez is coming out talking about CHARLO all of a sudden. Let's think about that. David BENAVIDEZ has a fight on the table with David Lemieux. They already kind of like dismissed David BENAVIDEZ. Like, what does he have to offer? Just like they did Andre. You're a horrible fighter. Even though he had been on record saying that he was a great fighter. Boxing Ego exposed that. Wouldn't it be a perfect time for him to start drumming up some of this energy, clout chasing off of another fighter's name. And it's ironic that the face of boxer would actually clout chase, but it happens all the time. So why are we getting all this Charlo talk right now when you about to go fight MAKABU? Why are we getting it? I came out and did a video about Charlo and Caleb Plant. I think that would make sense. You can't rely on Canelo Alvarez, because even the last fight with Caleb Plant, it wasn't etched in stone until Canelo Alvarez came back to the table and they were at the mercy of Canelo Alvarez signing what he needed to sign and getting the deal done, even though it was on PBC. So don't say I didn't tell you so. With all these moving screens, we got screens and moving pics, and the gingerbread man out in Candyman land on the gingerbread path, you know what I'm saying, doing this thing, and nobody says shit. I heard a whole video today about how Charlo has no shot and all. I'm like, man, look, I will say this. Jermall Charlo is a guy that I believe fights to the level of his competition. Some fighters are like that. It's just like if you come out and you had to face the back when let's say this year it'd probably be somebody like the Jets, or back in the day it was kind of like it's always been the Browns. You could be the firest team in the league. You come out and play the Browns, and the Browns fuck around and be getting ready to win until the fourth quarter, until you had to tighten that chin strap down, you know what I'm saying, and bite down on that mouthpiece, you know what I'm saying, and go out there and use that hit stick. Use them fabulous hands to win the game, because when you fight in lower level competition, you don't get as up for it. And I know that may sound like an excuse, but I ride for who I ride with, and I believe that Charlo fights to the level of his competition, and there is nothing that tells me that if and when Charlo gets his opportunity to fight Canelo, it's going to be a whole different story. I just don't want us to get distracted by all this talk with Charlo, because it only makes sense. It's a distraction. They sent out a wide receiver moving pick with this Frank Sanchez statement. They come out and start talking about all this stuff about the next fight being Canelo and Charlo after MAKABU. For what? The gingerbread man can do whatever he wants, and content creators are going to do it. Why? Likes and views and all of the backlash that it has whenever you say something against one Cinnamon Ginger Alvarez. Look out for them Canelo knee pads, look out for them tonsil jewelries, and look out for them bibs that will actually protect you in your garments whenever you want to go that extra round for your favorite fighter being a cock goblin. Body work.
Alright, I believe you, but my tummy don't. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
Words, I do what I do. He knows what I'm about to tell him right now. It's Mr. Keep running your mouth. That's what I do.
I just feel like I'm the champ, and at the end of the day, I'm just a fighting motherfucker. It doesn't matter. Inside, outside, I can just fight. So I just feel like if it gets down to the wire, and we gotta lock it up, I'm out on top.
Hey look, as you can see how I'm looking, I stay solid. I'm always solid. I stay fuck solid on the ring. You know what I'm saying? To the fans and all.
You know, you're outside the ring. I'm a fighter. Like I said before, there ain't no safety on the clock, so I'm gonna